On this episode, we're going to discuss the least expensive way to start a Necromunda gang with GW models.
Dome Runners TV, your guide to the Underhive and beyond.
Hey there, scabby scummers and gangers, Crimson Oracle here with another episode of Dome Runners TV. Today we are going to be talking about, I think, the gang that is, technically speaking, the least expensive way to get into Necromunda. That is because this gang has rules that are available for free. It has the lowest cost count for the box itself. And it's, it's a super basic gang. It is the Helot Cultists. Because of this wonderful set of cultists from the game Blackstone Fortress, at $33.50 for the retail price and available online at various discounters for even less, somewhere around the $28 range, you can pick up the Cultists of the Abyss from the Blackstone Fortress game. These are push-fit models, but they are all appropriately decked out for Necromunda. I put together a list to show that you can get a gang going with those 8 models for 1,000 credits. Now, they are fairly limited in their war gear. You see there's a bunch of auto guns, and they are a little bit fixed in what extra weapons that you take. So obviously there's a heavy stubber, there's a grenade launcher, and there's a flamer, and you can't really do anything about those unless you have bits to bash with. But as a result, you have just the perfect setup for a Chaos Cult gang.
If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and for as little as $2 a month you can become a patron and help support the show.
So looking at the gang, first of all, the biggest, beefiest, meanest looking fighter is the one with the flamer, so I would probably make that the leader. So you see here, I gave him a flamer and a stub gun with dum-dum ammo because he does have a pistol. And then Champion 1, our disciple, is the lady with the fancy mask. She has an auto pistol and a chainsword, and I went ahead and counted one of her grenades as a blasting charge, just so that she has something a little bit heavier hitting, in addition to her, kind of close combat loadout. And then for the second champion, I picked up the heavy stubber. I didn't put anything else on this champion other than, there's armor on all of the special and champion ones, so that gives her some survivability and makes her a big threat, big target. And of course for our specialist, I went ahead and did the grenade launcher, again with mesh armor. This is just a fantastic weapon and will do work for you. It can absolutely knock down your most dangerous opponents, and it can take out a group of lighter opponents. I swear by it. It's great. And so that is our first 4, and the other 4 we get auto gun. Oh yeah, and I went ahead and filled in some grenades with the remaining leftover credits. So we got an auto gun with a frag grenade, another auto gun with a frag grenade, and another auto gun with a frag grenade, and then one was just an auto gun. And as you can see, that's 8 models. It's all of the gear in the list, and it allows you to start playing for just the cost of the models, because there's a great PDF available on the Warhammer community site called Chaos Cult Gangs. It is free to download. It is not the most up-to-date version of the Chaos Cult rules, but that doesn't really matter for getting started. The points values are actually the same as in the Book of Ruin, and I'm not actually 100% sure what the major differences are between the two. They seem remarkably similar. So I think this is a great starting place for someone who wants to try kind of a bare bones gang. Now you can add a cult witch if you want to, experiment with the psychic powers from the game. But honestly, there isn't a cult witch model in the box, so I didn't bother buying one for this. But you could easily, purchase a model that is appropriate for that. Perhaps the Blackstone Fortress Psyker would be a good one for that if you want to stay within the Blackstone Fortress push fit model range. But yeah, these models go together quick. They are really fantastically detailed, and they make a starter gang out of the box. So I wanted to just mention this because I often, kind of get asked about what it takes to start playing. And while there is a lot of kind of complexity to the game in terms of how many different factions there are and the many different ways you can play them, down to Chaos corrupting all the house gangs and Gene Stealer corrupting all the house gangs and stuff. But if you want to get a gang going as cheaply as possible and you still use GW models, this is the gang for it. And I actually think that you could make a remarkably fun game with just a rule book and everyone playing kind of varieties of Chaos Cultist gangs using the trading post to give your guys more options when you start to want to, try. For example, you could purchase the Hive Scum box in order to add numbers, and you can use one of the gang weapon boxes to get access to more varieties of weapon. For example, you might pick up the Orlok box in order to get a variety of additional weapons, or you could pick up the upgrade sprue, that kind of thing. There is, of course, a full cultist box that GW makes, but it's actually a little bit limited. I think you get more variety of stuff in the Cultists of the Abyss box, so that's why I went with this one. Also, it's cheaper. So I just wanted to kind of drop this video because it's an idea that I had, and I thought, this is the kind of thing that makes the game more accessible. I wish that more gang rules were available either for free or included in for their full form with the various books that GW releases in various box sets and stuff. But you could seriously play a very much an old Munda kind of game if everybody was playing with the Cultists as their baseline, and then kind of got to expand with trading post stuff, because the trading post PDF is also free on GW's website. So you can really get everything you need in order to play, at least a starter campaign just from the rule book and then this document and the trading post document. It's kind of a weird take on the game in that it's a little lower tech and a little, scrappier, but a lot of people wish that the game was more like that, and it can be. So, that's ultimately, kind of why I put this together. And I think that next I'm going to tackle the topic of the cheapest proxy models for getting into Necromunda, because there are a lot of options out there that are a little bit less expensive. So we'll look at that in an upcoming episode. So that's going to do it for this episode. I would love to hear from you guys. What are your favorite non-Necromunda kits to use for Necromunda? And what are some suggestions for boxes that, for models that are available from other retailers, from other companies that can be used for Necromunda on the cheap? I'm going to be doing an episode about it in the near future, and I would love to hear what your particular favorites are in that category. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks to Carl Casey at Whitebat Audio for this episode's music. As always, thank you to my patrons. You guys make this show possible. And of course, if you would like to support the show, you can check us out at patreon.com/domerunners. And last but not least, of course, everybody check out the podcast. And everybody out there, stay safe and don't forget to change your paint water.